Barb Hansen here with His Seattle, and I'm going to talk about story charting in this training video. Many years ago, His Ministries adopted story charting over traditional comprehension questions for some very good reasons. We used to assign comprehension questions with each chapter of a literature selection for the children in AG and logic. Let's use Caddie Woodlawn, for example. Maybe a question that the students would be asked is, what did Caddie do after she disobeyed her mother? Or how many chores did Caddie have to do during the day? Or how many siblings does Caddie have? Really, who cares? And I am sure that's what the students are thinking as they're hunting and pecking through the chapter to find the answers to these tedious questions. We don't want to bore students. We want to delight them. We want to excite them about literature. And that's what story charting does. Literature questions, I think in the end, really just help students to learn to dislike reading. Whereas story charting really encourages students to enjoy the process of thinking about literature. The book we use is called Teaching the Classics by Adam and Missy Andrews. And I recommend that you get the teacher's guide, but you don't have to get the DVD series unless you really want to. This is not that expensive, and it's really a helpful resource. And it's something you can use at home, which I really recommend you do, because that's one thing that most of the moms at His Ministries do. Once you learn the process of story charting, it's so easy to do, and it's so far superior that you will use it with your children at home. And it's nice to have this guide to kind of refer to as you do that. Literature is a really important part of classical education because it's literature that broadens our perspective. Our limited perspective on life is not enough. Literature helps us get outside ourselves and to connect with the experiences of others and to join that great conversation. It helps us to think at a deeper level. Literature also really connects us to what it really means to be a human being. Countless times I have found for my family, literature has helped us to bond together closer as a family because it's the literature that we share that we can refer back to when we're experiencing something as a family. We'll say, oh, this reminds me of, and then we'll go to some passage in some literature that we've read together and use that to kind of explain what we're experiencing at the moment. Or we have a lot of inside jokes that are just from the literature we've read. So literature is, I really, really encourage you to read aloud to your children, because really, when I look back at my homeschooling, it is the literature that I read out loud to my children that has been the best memories. So what I'm going to do now, that's the introduction to story charting. I'm going to shut this video off, and there will be a second video that will be on how to do story charting.